She was around in the ACCU for 82 days. So after 3 cardiac arrests, we didn't know what the future was for us. She used to tell us, take me home, take me home. But she was not in a condition, we didn't know how will we take her home in this condition.
When I met her, Maji came across as one of the most endearing patients one could have ever met. As an individual, she was like an anchor in the family. She was a great grandmother to somebody, grandmother to somebody, mother-in-law to somebody.
All of our lives were only, going to the hospital, coming back, going to the hospital, work was getting affected, like we were not going anywhere, straight.
One of our daughters, she lived here for 4 months. First thing when we got her home, we didn't think this kind of care is also possible to be done at home. The care that Apollo Home Care people took, the setup, the entire room was made like, it was like an ICU at home basically for her.
As we went through this journey, she as an individual actually taught us more about empathy into this journey. She was such a loving person that every single staff that was engaged in her care actually did not just call her by name Maji, but also started feeling that they were part of this family. Very good.
I think it was my brother's wedding in January. We shifted her home in October. We never thought that she would be able to attend the wedding. She was with a ventilator. She had a rice tube. She couldn't eat. She
could hardly recognize people.
We wanted to mobilize her. We went into a routine on what she was doing, and we came across that she would start her day with Tulsi Puja. And when we actually asked her that would you like to get off the bed, she first said, no, I don't want to get off. And we said, let's do Tulsi Puja outside, and could see a smile on her face. And that was the day which actually gave us a lot of hope.
We started living with Apollo nurses and all, and started interacting with the daughters. Life became much easier. Things took a better turn because she started recognizing us at least.
Our real success came when actually during the wedding, wherever the Bharat was stationed in the hotel, we actually moved Maji there. She was part of every single function, from the tilak to actually the nikasi of the Bharat.
On Dadima's birthday, I see Apollo nurses getting early in the morning, like we didn't even expect this. At 8:30 with a cake, flowers, balloons. They put a cap on her and they laid the cake, and it was a beautiful moment, They got a shawl for her. Yeah.
1 week before the wedding, my grandfather also fell ill. So he was admitted to the hospital.
क्या खाएंगे दादाजी आप? बोलिए।
2 ब्रेड ले लेंगे।
2 ब्रेड ले लेंगे और कुछ?
नहीं, ज़्यादा।
नाचारा में कैसे चल रहा है?
चल रहा है, लोहा का बाजार बहुत खराब है। कल गए थे, फिर कल जाएंगे।
ओके। हम भी आए फिर?
चलिए।
हाथ ऐसे करिएगा, ऐसे। नीचे इस तरफ।
He had got an asthma attack. Apollo Home Care was not on him, it was on Dadima. There were 3 nurses there rubbing his hands, rubbing his body, and by the time the emergency van came, he was fine. He was fine.
Mr. Saraf actually had 1 or 2 episodes of hospitalization secondary to worsening renal parameters.
Again, it was like a life-saving thing, I would say, because if we didn't have the Apollo Home Care team at home taking care of Dadima, I don't think, we don't know what would have happened to him, because it was a matter of minutes again.
He had this routine of, despite his health, weakness, etc., he would still involve into day-to-day business and business decisions. So our aim was to keep him as independent as possible in this journey.
After, Dadima passed away, it was very difficult for him to cope with the sudden death of, Dadima. He would break down. Every 2 seconds he would break down.
हमारा 84 एज है अभी। अब पाकिस्तान था उस टाइम में, अभी बांग्लादेश हो गया ना, वो पैदा हुआ था।
They made sure they had a nutritionist coming home, checking his diet. They gave him that treatment what was required, aggressive physiotherapy, morning and evening for 1 hour.
His creatinine has stabilized. His sugars are close to normal, very well controlled. His blood pressures are very well controlled, and most importantly, he is resumed back going to his factory.
I think I would like to thank Apollo Home Care for being a part of a family, for taking care of Dadima and the Aji in the way they have done. I think
Incredible, yeah.
it is incredible, and I think I would give a perfect 10 to Apollo Home Care.
Same here.
Yeah.
10, I think.
10 would be less on 10, I would say.